Either Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising, welcome to your reading for October to December. It's kind of a little bonus reading we're doing because I want to check in on what is the best use of energy right now for you with all the personal planets moving forward. You get a bonus card here. With all the personal planets moving forward, and all the outer planets are in retrograde. And it's sort of like the cosmic clock is in for repair, and we have to generate our own energy. So you have the card of Mercury, the communicator. Words have power. Not only do they have power, they're magic, right? We spell words. And so when we carefully choose our words, and it's not only how we, I'm going to say it's not just how we choose our words. It is the tone. It is the timing. It is the symphony of them. It's how we put them together. It's the moments of silence, the boomingness to it. And the reason I say that is because you also have this conductor here, and it is Saturn energy, which is about, and Saturn right now is in Pisces, which is music, but this is about, do the work, get the reward. And Saturn doesn't station direct and think. We looked that up. It isn't until really close to the end of this quarter here. And so it says, I walk with a foot in both the earthly and the spiritual worlds. And so it's almost as though your words you are creating something, kind of like a conductor at the, with a symphony, right? And so the moments of silence, where the music plays out, where it's loud and it's booming. You have a full moon eclipse coming in your sign. It's happening on October 28th. That is the last one of that Taurus North Node energy going through there. You actually got, you had an extra, this is an extra one. And so you have a lot of these eclipses to help you to really move your energy. Oh, sorry. Move your energy, Taurus, my little bovines, to move your energy forward and to really release something. And so this is going to feel, I think October is going to feel a little booming. And let me just focus on the cards for a second, because I am reading reversals, and I want to make sure that when I put them out that I'm laying them down correctly so that you can see them. You're going to need this eclipse. Oh my gosh. Taurus. Always check out Sun, Moon, Rising. If this is not your reading, then make sure that you check out what is. This is going to be a love reading, and it's a difficult one. So if for instance, I don't see it as anything else, to be honest. And so if this isn't, if love isn't what you're thinking about, then I hate to tell you to click off at 3 minutes, but it kind of looks like that. So this Saturn, it's called the Administrator. It's practical, grounded, persevering, wise, dedicated, strong. It's leading. It's being organized. This communicator energy here says truthful, outspoken, flexible, clear, quick, relatable. So Taurus, you rule the throat chakra. It's interesting because she's wearing the blue, and there's all this blue here. That's the throat chakra energy, and so because that's Taurus energy, truth and authenticity is super important. And you have a lot of cards here that show a difficult relationship. So let's look at it. Overall energy, we have the decrease. The decrease means that there's a situation. It feels like time is running out, right? So there is water's running through her hand, and it's very dry desert there. And so there's a significant decrease in the flow emotionally. in what needs to transform it is the fear. And so the fear needs to be transformed. It needs to be released. It needs to be let go of. I almost feel like you're feeling stuck, like you cannot move because of fear, almost like you're frozen in place about something here. And there's a real disconnect at this time, according to this reading, with your higher self. And so I feel like that your higher self is your truth. Right? This is the truth of who you are, the truth of what you want, the truth of what you believe in. And so there's something about the relationship where you are struggling at this time. Where is this card at? I'm looking for, oh, stuck in the mud green. Okay, stuck in the mud in the reverse. When stuck in the mud is in reverse, oh, it says rejoice, thank God. The situation that has been keeping you feeling trapped is starting to shift. In the area of resources, your emotional, your financial, your, they said spiritual. Interesting. So wherever you have been feeling stuck, that is starting to come to an end. In the upright, you're assessing the situation. So apparently, once we get to the reverse side, that means that this is a dynamic time for you. That full moon is going to allow you to release and let go of something. So here in the obstacle, we have the loving woman in reverse, and in the action to take, we have the loving man in reverse. And this is why I think over here in what you're seeking, it's true love. So it's really hard for me to think this isn't about love. Okay, so what we have with the true love, what you're seeking, feels like a reminder. The energy that you put into a relationship is what you get out of it. So if you haven't been putting in the emotional energy, then you're not receiving, right? So you can look at these as the male and the female, or you can look at these as the giving and the receiving, the taking action, and being open to receiving, right? And so being open to receiving has been difficult. So either you're not receiving or you're not open to it, but the action to take is to stop giving so much. And so sometimes if you pull back your emotional energy, what it can do is serve as a wake-up call. So it doesn't mean you're splitting up, but it can serve as a wake-up call. So let's say this isn't love, which I find really hard to believe when I look at these cards. But let's just say that this is at work or some kind of a situation where you're the one that everybody comes to and you do all the work and you're always shoveling all the work in, right? And Taurus, you will do that. But then, you recognize that you're being taken advantage of, that your work ethic or your relationship energy or whatever, you don't feel appreciated because you feel taken for granted is what it feels like. And so if that is what is happening, the advice is to pull back your energy and to allow the balancing to happen and see what happens. Like, don't just give up on the situation. In the heart space, you have status quo, which doesn't feel like you're making a change. What's draining your energy is the energy of the teacher. The energy of the teacher is, with Saturn here, have you learned the lessons? Have you recognized the giving and the receiving in balance? And how does that serve? And how does that make a relationship work or not work? Whether that is a romantic relationship, a family relationship, a co-worker's relationship, the teacher in reverse. I just want to see what the book has to say about that one also. So teacher is number 4. The card in reverse indicates some present feelings of being out of balance, unsure, and uninspired. So you're feeling uninspired. And your higher self is in reverse also, which makes you feel like you feel uninspired. And it's this lack of inspiration that's keeping you stuck. But you don't have to be stuck. The outgoing card is hidden motives, but it's in reverse also. You have a lot of reversals. So hidden motives in reverse reveals that self-imposed roadblocks are starting to be cleared and your mind is becoming more focused. All you need to know will begin to surface in ways that empower you and clear the path ahead. There may have been some hesitation, which we can totally see here. Continue to feel and affirm your worthiness and strength and reevaluate your plans and take action in the light of your highest intentions. When you get your intentions clear, great strides can be made in the direction of your dreams. Okay, by the time we get to the end of December, Mercury will be stationing direct, I think, on January 1st. So it's going to do another retrograde. By the time we get to the middle of January, it's cleared its shadow. All of the planets are moving forward, and it may literally take you until then to really take action. I think that there's a real awareness that comes in with this full moon about a situation that doesn't work for you, whether this is at work or in a personal, very personal relationship, because we do have the true love card here. If this card wasn't here, I would think this has more to do with work. But for some of you, this true love card is also, do you value yourself? Are you teaching others to treat you? And so you could be in a job where it feels like, you're just not being appreciated. And so we teach each other how to treat us, and true love should always start with how you feel about yourself. This is really tough. So your words, how you communicate to yourself, and how you communicate to others, and how you direct your energy. And Taurus in general, you have to really push them to get them to explode. But boy, when you guys do, you mess with the bull, you get the horns, right? So be very careful about some of that. We have the card of changes. That changes are needed. This reading looks difficult, but having had the North Node move through your sign, having this final eclipse happening for you, and then the next year and a half is really kind of a period of integration. So you have the Mask and the Worrier, filled with concern. Know that you have the power to defeat negative thinking. Your words are magic. When you say you can't do something, or it never works out for me, or nobody ever loves me, or people just don't seem to appreciate me, when you say things like that, your words create the magic that makes that happen. But when you say things like, I did a really good job today and people see it and appreciate it, I know what that sounds like, but it starts to work. It shifts the energy around you. Learn to understand and cope with your greatest enemy. And then it says, your own fear. Your fear of making the change, a shift. Your fear of being rejected. Your fear of just change in general. Taurus does not. None of the fixed signs really like change, but there is no one that digs their heels in more about not wanting to make a change than a Taurus. Stubborn bull comes to mind, right? And so, and that is because the path that you set yourself on, you thought a lot about before you headed off in that direction. The issue at this time in life is that the energy has shifted around you. And so it's almost like, did you ever see in Harry Potter when they would climb up the stairs and the stairs would move? And so if you were on the stairs and it went someplace, you ended up someplace else when you got off. That's what it feels like. Like you knew where these stairs were going when you got on them, but then the stairs moved. And now you're on a different floor than you thought you were going to, and everything looks different, and that's uncomfortable because it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. And so becoming more flexible and being able to adapt to this paradigm that is shifting all around all of us. The energy is shifting. We are literally moving into a new age, and it starts in about 5 years, you know? And so this is happening, and there's nothing you can do. The wheels of change are in motion. And so it's kind of like you either figure out how to move with the changes or get run over, is what it feels like for everybody. That's for everybody. If we are not shifting, if we are not growing, if we are not changing, if we are not flexible, and that is everybody, we're going to get either run over or left behind in some way or the other. And I think it's very difficult for Taurus. Even though you could see the changes coming, they kind of happened really fast, right? 2012 to now, it's been a decade. And that isn't in Taurus time very long. And everything changed. It's like they moved the goalpost. While we were looking over our shoulder or taking a nap or something else, and we wake up and we're in a whole other situation, and we're like, how did this happen? That is something we're all feeling. Some of us navigate that better than others. In Taurus, for you, it is challenging, especially if you have other signs that are fixed. If your sun, moon, and rising, if you have at least 2 of those prominent placements in fixed signs, it gets very difficult. So you have the mask. Neither you nor anyone else involved in the situation has a clear picture of what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. Oh my God, it's the stairs. Like, nobody really knows. Those stairs are moving, and nobody really knows what floor they're going to let off on, where we're going to go. It's been very difficult to make the 5-year, the 10-year plan. It's been really hard in general, because nothing, I mean, just look around at the political landscape and how much that has changed in just 5 years. There's like no place, but that is just an example. That isn't everything. If you look in any situation in your life, nothing looks like it did. I mean, look what happened in 2020. That changed the landscape of the world. And so nobody knows what's going to happen. And that is really uncomfortable. And changes are happening. I think this is about you deciding for yourself what makes you feel happy right now, today. What looks like joy to you? What feels like happiness? Move in that direction. And if you keep following the joy and you keep following the peace inside of you, you're going to navigate this energy. You are the magician. You have the Merlin. It's the alchemy, it's justice, it's balance. You are more than capable of managing this energy. It is just about making the decision. And again, look at all that blue. It is about making the decision that what is true for you now is what counts. And it's not about time that was wasted. It's not about having made the wrong choices or the map has literally changed after you set out on it. It's not your fault. That is just what has happened. And so in a situation like that, I have a Taurus friend that said to me, so what are you going to do now? And that's where you're at. What are you going to do now? And that is the only place that you can start from, is where you are right now. And the direction to move in, the compass, is in your heart of what feels like joy. And I know that may not feel like really great advice right now. But I can tell you, it's the only advice that I can give. And in so many ways, for everyone, it's really the best advice. All right, Taurus, you guys take really good care of yourselves. I'm on Facebook every day. I go through the astrology over there. You might want to join us. Leave a comment. I do a drawing every month, and I give a free reading, so maybe you get a chance to get a little more clarity. This is a very general reading, and it would give you a chance to get a more specific reading. If you want to get a reading, I do those, and the information for that is in the description box below. You guys take really good care of yourselves. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up and for supporting this channel. Talk to you again soon.